To me, leadership is having the drive and the passion to pursue your goals.
Leadership is when someone takes charge of a group and works towards a cohesive goal.
So I would say leadership to me is definitely more of a collaborative thing. I'm a really hands-on kind of person. I feel like leadership is more about a partnership and working together than really just being more delegating kind of thing. I do think that at some points things need to get organized, but when the project is being done, I would definitely feel like it's more of a teamwork kind of effort.
Leadership to me means having the ability to take charge and having the knowledge to clear a path forward that would be able to guide your team members on a not only successful path but a joyful one.
Leadership is taking one for the team. It's being there for your team and leading from the front.
For me, I believe you can be a good leader if you listen, and if you can get people to trust you. I've realized that trust is a big important part of working in a group. The more you get them to trust you, the more that you can all work efficiently together, and you can feel more comfortable explaining your ideas and feeling like they'll actually mean something.
Being a good leader is understanding the outcomes that you want, and also, taking charge and listening to your team and understanding the needs of everyone while trying to achieve that goal.
Kind of like I was saying, just really listening to people's opinions. I would say really checking in on them is kind of how I would be a good leader. Really listening to what everyone's saying, even if they're not as social, because a lot of people have interesting ideas, and just making sure everyone's feelings are really included, because I know that when feelings are involved, it's hard for people to get work straight. So definitely just making sure everyone's in the right headspace to work.
In order to be a good leader, you have to be able to learn, adapt, and take criticism, not only from the ones that oppose you, but from the ones that are helping you. As a good leader, you should surround yourself by people that will not only help you reach your goals, but will also challenge your ideals along the way.
Practice. Leaders aren't born, they're made.
I don't think a successful leader is a good leader, because sometimes a good leader knows that you have to break the rules that are set in place to actually see results and find success. So no, not always.
I wouldn't say a successful leader is always a good leader. There are many examples in history where people achieved their goals, but not necessarily for the betterment of the people around them.
I feel like that depends. There's been a lot of successful people, like in the industries, that you've seen articles or heard about their styles, that they've just mistreated workers or they haven't been as compassionate towards them, but still, they're successful because their product or whatever they're doing is successful in the market. But I would say that doesn't make you a good leader, because if your workers aren't really engaged in working with you and mistreating them, I would say the company's not as successful, just the product and what you're selling was. But I do think you can be successful and a good leader. So
A successful leader is not always a good leader, and a good leader is not always a successful leader. Sometimes the journey is worth more than the destination, and you don't want to risk what you have with your team members just to reach a goal.
Not necessarily, because sometimes success comes from luck. It doesn't mean to say that everything's copacetic in the team.
I think I have leader capabilities. I have skills that I know could be good for a leader, but I am more of a passive leader. I like to hear other people's ideas and see different perspectives, because I feel like the more ideas you gain, the better you have of options to choose from.
I would say that I am a leader in certain circumstances. I can take charge as need be, and I'm very empathetic. I listen to people around me and do what I can for the people that need help.
yes, I would say that I am. I would say that a lot of times I like kind of subconsciously, unconsciously, I do feel like I check in on people's feelings just to make sure they're on task. And like, I feel like I have, when in a group project, I feel like I just take the role of being like, okay, let's do this, this, and this, and you can do this, this. Just because I like to be organized, like I would go crazy if it's not organized. So I feel like in some ways, because there are some projects where I'm like, I'll sit back more and like not take the reins and everything. But in most things, I do want to stay organized. And like I said, I feel like I care a lot about people's feelings when they're working, just because I would want everyone to feel like the project is their own and that own like satisfaction when the project is done of their own. Like I want them to feel like it's theirs. So I want everyone to feel like that. So that's why I'm like, I feel like I try to motivate more people just unconsciously.
I would say that I'm not really a leader. I mean, I have leadership tendencies, and at some points I will take charge. But in most situations, I feel like I'm better utilized by someone who has those characteristics of a good leader.
Sometimes, when it's necessary. If somebody's not stepping up, I'll try to step up, try to do the best I can. I don't necessarily always volunteer for it, but you know, I do my best. Beer truck.